This is great, mate. Keep it coming. Come on, keep nailing those exits. Don't let this guy distract you. P4.
What's going on, YouTube? We're back for another iRacing video for Season 1, Week 5, going around Daytona International Speedway on the road course once again. This time, though, we're going to be using the GTP for the Prototype Challenge, and the car that I'm going to choose to take around the track is going to be the Cadillac V-Series R, and I chose this car for one reason, and one reason only. I realize I'm wearing a Porsche Penske hat, but the Cadillac's V8 sounded too good from the outside and from the inside of the cockpit for me not to go with it. The GTPs were a little bit of a handful for me to get used to, as I was struggling a lot with locking up in the cars. My best pace I was able to pull out in practice was a high 131 with averaging more of a 132s, but this was going to be my first race ever in the GTPs, so I didn't really know where to expect my pace to land me. Going into Quali for lap 1, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 were all pretty smooth for me. But turn 4, we're going to lock up pretty heavy, going deep into the corner. We're still going to be able to get a decent exit out of the corner. And then as we continue our lap and go into turn 6, we're going to lock up going very deep into that corner. And as I look to try to get the best exit as I could out of that corner, we're going to get on throttle a little bit too much and start to have the car step out on us. And we're going to save it, but we're still going to go into the dirt, invalidating that first lap. So as we look to our second lap, we're going to go into turn 1, locking up just a little bit, and then continue to lock up once again in turn 4. Not as bad as the last lap though, and we're still going to be up a little bit. And then we're going to lock up into turn 6 again, but we're not going to lose the car this time. And as we go through turn 7, we're going to have another lockup. But we're going to continue on with our lap, and as we go up into the bus stop, something I've struggled with, whether it was the GT3s or the GTPs, we're going to look to get through it, and we're going to be able to get through it. Not the fastest, but we're going to keep it valid. And as we finish our second lap, we're going to qualify with a 132.259, which is going to get us P10 for the grid. So with all that being said, if you like what you see in this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to see this video completely uncut, just my cockpit cam, make sure to go check out my second channel, Baked Racing Uncut. So with all that, let's get behind the pace car and see what kind of result we can get in our first GTP race.
This is a rolling start. The track temp is 74 Fahrenheit. The air temp is 73. The driver behind's had lots of incidents lately. Bear it in mind. P10.
As we come out of turn 4 on the formation lap, the entire field's going to be weaving back and forth, trying to get temperature into their tires, and we're going to have some drama before we even get to the green flag. As while we're weaving back and forth, trying to get temperature into our tires, we're nearly going to collide with the rear of the number 7 Porsche ahead, and this is all going to start with the number 7 Ferrari ahead, who's going to check up just a little bit too much, and the number 3 Porsche behind is going to not realize it and is going to slam into the back of them, causing a domino effect to nearly have us colliding with them, but we're only going to lock up the brakes, so we're going to be able to get to the green flag clean.
Okay, Rob, be ready.
And as the pace car comes into the pit lane, the leader's going to go pretty much immediately and is going to get a jump on the rest of the field. But we're going to be able to have a good start as well and stay with the front of the pack. And as the number 5 Acura was too busy weaving for tire temperature as the pace car came into pit lane, we're going to be able to get the jump on them and move to the inside line for turn 1. As the rest of the cars behind us are also going to have a bad start, causing a big difference between the front of the pack and the back. And as we head down into turn 1, there's going to be some drama ahead as the number 1 BMW in the lead is going to lock up their front tires as they go into turn 1, going deep into the corner, running wide into the grass, sending them flying in the air as they look to rejoin the course. And as they come back onto the circuit slow, it's going to cause some drama as the number 15 Cadillac looked to the outside coming out of turn 3, but took too much curb, which is going to send them sliding into the grass and into the wall.
It's a big mess.
But that's just going to be the start of the drama as the number 3 Porsche and number 7 Ferrari are going to get together once again, collecting the number 15 for a big wreck as they came into turn 4. The number 3 Porsche looked to the outside of the 7 as they came out of turn 3, but didn't move all the way to the outside as the number 15 was crashing on the grass, and the number 7 Ferrari might not have known they were there or thought they were more to the outside, so they swiped to the middle of the track, causing the contact, which is going to cause the devastating accident, ending their race. And while all this drama is happening in front of me, I'm going to make a big mistake as I lock up really heavily as I go into turn 4, as I was distracted by all the drama happening in front of me, as well as it going to be my first race on cold tires. But I'm not going to be the only one to make this mistake, as the number 5 Acura is also going to lock up their tires as they go into turn 4, nearly colliding into us as we both go wide onto the grass. But it's not going to stop there, as the number 8 Porsche behind is also going to lock up going into turn 4, going deep into the corner, just barely going onto the grass, coming to our inside as we look to come back onto the track, which is just going to slow us just that little bit to allow the number 12 Ferrari to get around us as they come out of turn 4. But as they're just barely going to be able to get around us, we're going to stay on them right as we go through turn 5. And as we come out of turn 5, we're going to go in the dirt as we look to the inside for turn 6. But we're going to have another lockup, nearly running into the rear end of the number 12 Ferrari.
There's a giant oh god. Oh god. It's all death.
And as the chaos on lap 1 continues, as the number 8 loses it out of turn 6, the number 2 BMW in the lead is going to lose it out of turn 7, slamming into the wall, gaining us our second free position in 2 corners.
Yellow flag. There's an incident in turn 7. Looks like it's Jack.
This is crazy hectic. I had a feeling lap 1 was going to be a little bit of an interesting time. All the drama going into turn 4 completely made me mess up.
And the drama and chaos of lap 1 isn't going to stop there, as the number 19 Ferrari and the number 13 Porsche are going to go side by side as they go into the bus stop. But as the Porsche lifts on entry to the bus stop, the Ferrari is going to send it way too deep into the corner, running all the way into the grass for the exit. And despite us not having the best bus stop going deep on entry, causing us to be late on the throttle as we went through the corner, which is going to drop us a lot off the number 12 Ferrari head, we're still going to be able to avoid the track cut and the slowdown and be able to be the last car to take advantage of the number 19 Ferrari's mistake and get by them as we go through the banking of turn 12, moving us back up into the top 10 to P10 where we started.
On your left. Clear left.
Okay, let's see how this we can settle out. Despite all the drama, we're still in the top 10. That's good.
As we look to settle out after all the drama and chaos of lap 1, we're going to have some more action ahead as we go into turn 1 for lap 2. The number 12 Ferrari ahead is going to lock up as they go into the corner. And as they nearly miss the number 10 Porsche ahead, we're going to be able to take advantage of their mistake and send it up their inside as we go through turn 2, moving us up into 9th position. But as we come out of turn 3 up to turn 4, we're going to have another mistake, locking up heavy into turn 4 once again. But despite the lockup sending us deep into the corner, we're going to be able to hang it out wide and get a good exit to stay ahead of the number 12 Ferrari, who's going to get passed by the number 19 Ferrari as they got a better exit out of turn 4. And as we come up into turn 6, the action's going to continue as I come way too fast into the corner, locking up and nearly smashing into the number 10 Porsche ahead. But we're going to avoid contact as we go to the outside, and we're going to be able to keep it on the outside of the number 10 Porsche as the number 14 Ferrari spins ahead. And as we have a good exit out of turn 6, we're going to be able to force the 10 to a shallow exit, staying side by side as we go up into turn 7. And we're going to be able to keep our nose on the inside of the number 10 into turn 7, forcing them wide and allowing us to get a good exit out of the corner to remain side by side as we go through the banking of turn 8. And our exit out of turn 7 is going to allow us to creep ever so slightly ahead of the number 10 Porsche as we go through turn 8.
This might get interesting.
And as we come out of turn 8 onto the backstretch, we're going to be able to pull just ahead of the number 10 Porsche. And as we pull in front of the Porsche, they're going to get spooked and get off the throttle. And as the number 19 Ferrari is to their inside, the Porsche is going to decide to back out of the throttle and let the number 19 Ferrari go as they go into the bus stop. So now, after an action-packed lap 2, we're going to move up to P7 with P6 2 seconds ahead of us and P5 3 seconds ahead of us. So we're going to see if we can settle out and find some pace to maybe catch them ahead, as well as to be able to keep the number 19 Ferrari behind us.
Okay. Ooh, see if we can settle out a little bit. A little bit of a gap now to P6. See if how anyone behind is going to be too. Really need to stop. The locking ups are my biggest issue that I'm having.
All right, Rob, don't let this guy distract you. The guy behind's got a bit of a sketchy reputation. Be careful. The guy in front is not the cleanest racer. Brake, car number 13, A license.
Kane again. so bad at the bus stop. See if there's going to be any problems ahead here.
As I see P5 and P6 going side by side into turn 1, I was hoping for drama, and some drama is what I'm going to get as number 13 Porsche is going to send it deep into turn 1, locking up their front tires and going wide into the grass, launching themselves into the air as they rejoin the track.
And there are the problems ahead.
And as they're slow on rejoin, we're going to be looking to take advantage of their mistakes, sending it to their inside as we come out of turn 3. And we're going to be able to keep it on the inside for turn 4, locking up once again into the corner, but we're going to be able to get the move done as the Porsche got really close to us on the apex. As we came out of turn 3, the Porsche did briefly look to cover off the inside, but with my extra speed, I was sending in the gap that was closing to be able to get my nose in there and send it up the inside for turn 4. And despite locking up, we were able to not go that deep into the corner and stay on the inside to be able to get a good exit out of the corner and retain the position and move up into P6.
Got in on the inside there. Very last second. Despite all the problems I've had with turn 4, I simply got that done.
There's an incident in turn 8. We think it might be Schneider.
And now, as we move up into P6, we're going to very quickly be able to move up into P5, as the number 1 BMW running in P3 at the time is going to have some issues going through turn 7, and as they come out of turn 7 and go through turn 8, they're going to remain in second gear, staying to the top of the track to let traffic behind go. And after they let the traffic go and they get to the back straight, they're going to pull over and go back to the garage, but they're going to get back on the track and finish all 14 laps of the race while setting the fastest lap of the race. So I'm not too sure why they pulled over, but I'll take the free position.
See if, I was about to say, let's see if we can get into the top 5, but there we go. Freebie positions.
So now moving up into the top 5, we're going to be looking to hunt down P4 2 seconds ahead, and we're going to get some extra breathing room from behind to be able to do that, as both the number 19 Ferrari and the number 13 Porsche are going to get slowdowns as they go through the bus stop. And as the number 13 Porsche moves to the top of the track to take their slowdown, they're going to decide to park it and take it to the garage, ending their race. So now we're only going to have the number 19 Ferrari to worry about as we look to hunt down the number 17 Acura in P4.
But we're going to get eaten up off that, I think. Oh, no, actually. Oh, I gotta slow down, okay. Whew. Seeing them get that close in the mirrors definitely was, definitely a little bit of anxiety there.
Okay, Rob, you're reeling. Matthew, in. The gap is now 1.6 seconds. This is great, mate. Keep it coming. P5. The car in front of us is sketchy. Matthew, car number 17. A license.
I really want to hunt this guy down. I try not to overdrive it now though.
The gap to P4 in front is now 1.3 seconds.
It's been a pretty good recovery considering that first lap was a pretty big mess and we thought it was going to drop back pretty heavy amount. Slow down, right? Oh, that wasn't a slowdown.
Stay between the lines, please, Rob.
I'll take the track cut in that case then. see how the chicane is going to be for us. Especially with a little bit after speed from draft.
As we come out of turn 8, I'm going to be 2/10 back from the Acura ahead, so I knew I was going to get a pretty heavy draft as we went into the bus stop, and that extra speed and following another car into the bus stop is going to throw me off as I miss my marks and go a little bit too fast into the corner, locking up my tires. But despite locking up the tires, we're going to be able to avoid any contact with number 17 Acura ahead and just go for a ride through the grass, taking a slow down and dropping back to 2 seconds behind the Acura once again. But we have a good gap to number 19 Ferrari, did not have our mistake have any pressure from behind, so we're going to be able to focus the hunt down the number 17 Acura just like we did before.
We've been warned about track limits.
Not well. Not well is how it went for us. Okay, well, gap's back up to 2 seconds. See if we can catch back up. A little over halfway.
The gap to P4 ahead is increasing. It's now 1.8 seconds.
I need to get turn one right as much as I can because I'm taking advantage of the much faster line.
Martin is gaining on you. The gap is now 2.0 seconds.
I think it's going to come down to turn one and the bus stop.
Matthew in. The gap is 1.7 seconds.
We also may have to be looking at our mirrors a little bit too.
As we come to the start of lap 8, we're able to cut down the gap to the number 17 Acura by a couple tenths, and we're going to gain a couple more tenths as we go through the first couple corners of lap 8. But while we've slightly cut down the gap to the number 17 Acura ahead, the number 19 Ferrari behind us has been cutting into our gap, so now with them very nearly under a second behind us, we're going to have to stay mistake-free while we try to hunt down the number 17 Acura, and if we get to them, we're going to have to be clean and fast with our move to not get eaten up by the number 19 Ferrari behind.
Okay, let's see how this goes. I think we're about the same distance back we were last time we went to a chicane with them. Maybe a little bit further back, actually. I like that so much better in 4th gear. I know it's probably faster if you can get it right in 5th gear, but because I'm just a little bit slower, I think I like it just a little bit better.
We were just a little bit further back this time going into the bus stop to be able to take it clean, and I went down an extra gear to go down to 4th instead of 5th and liked it a little bit better to get a good exit out of the bus stop. And our good exit out of the bus stop is going to allow us to stay with the number 17 and get in the draft to be able to pull alongside and ahead as we go through the tri-oval and down into turn 1. And as I pull ahead, I'm going to move over to the outside line, taking a more sweeping line into turn 1 as the number 17 Acura is going to take a more shallow line into turn 1.
Let's go. Nice easy pass down the street.
Our exit of turn 1 is going to give us some breathing room to not have to defend going into turn 4, although I'm going to make another mistake once again locking up. Luckily for us, the number 17 is also going to make a mistake taking too much curve through turn 4, messing up their exit.
Hit the curve on that, drop them back a little bit, see if that gives us the space we need to breathe.
While it did give me the space I needed to breathe, I'm going to make another mistake locking up once again into turn 6. But the lockup isn't going to mess up our exit that much, and we're still going to be able to get a little bit of room to the number 17 behind. Although as we come to turn 7, the number 17 is still going to have a look to the inside, but they're going to be way too far back for any type of lunge, and it's not going to throw us off, and we're going to be able to build the gap to over a second, while the number 17 is going to have their mirrors full of number 19 behind.
He's also going to have someone right on him. We just dropped him under a second, so, or over a second rather, so that should be really helpful to us. everyone's pretty spaced out and
The
in
gap
front of
to
us now,
Matthew
so
behind is now 1.2.
I think if we want a podium, we're gonna have to get some luck and some crashes ahead. But I'm happy with P4, especially first race in the GTP. Obviously, we still need to survive.
Nice one, Rob. This is great. Come on, keep nailing those exits. P4. The next car is Sketchy. Jack, car number 18.
I also think might have a little bit faster car behind us now. I think they got the pass done. So we might get caught from them.
As we come out of turn 5, the number 14 Ferrari going into turn 1 is going to lose it, and as they get back going, they're going to do a burnout, creating a smoke cloud that's going to appear over turn 1 and turn 7. So as my mind was already thinking about the possibility of getting onto the podium, this smoke cloud was going to distract me as I thought it might have been one of the cars ahead, and I'm going to miss my marks as we go into turn 7, slowing down just a little bit too much, which is going to put the number 19 Ferrari even closer to us.
I got way too distracted by that smoke. I was thinking that might have been the pair that we needed to get up onto the podium, but now they're going to be a pretty good slipstream on us since the chicane here. See how turn 1 goes. Gonna be able to probably be able to get to us. See if we can keep the inside line to defend. Although I know that really don't know how to defend as well in the GDP with the large sweeping outside line of turn 1.
As we come into the tri-oval, the number 19 Ferrari behind is going to look to the inside just a little bit too early, going onto the apron, killing their run. And as they come back onto the embankment, it's going to shoot them to the outside as we look to cover the inside line as we go into turn 1. And as we're clear of the number 19 Ferrari, we're going to move just slightly to the middle of the track as we go into turn 1. And as we go into turn 1, the number 19 Ferrari is going to run deep into the corner, which is going to give us a little bit more breathing room to try to secure this P4 with only a couple more laps left.
Two or three more laps to go, so we'll see if we can hang on to this. So I thought this car is definitely very fun to drive, even if it's not accurate. I think I'm going to be good for turn 1, not have to worry, just a little bit further back. Let's try to take our fast line.
To go, 2 minutes.
That's gonna f me up. But he did it just as bad. He didn't really close on us there, so that's pretty good. Ran a lot wider out of that corner than I really would have wanted to.
despite us not having the best turn 7, neither did the number 19 Ferrari behind, so we're not going to get eaten up just yet, but we're going to have to make sure to have a good bus stop if we don't want to get clean overtaken by the slipstream from the number 19 behind.
3/10, that's gonna... Oh yeah, and I think you got a better exit, so this is gonna be interesting into turn 1 here. Try my best to defend it.
With the number 19 Ferrari getting a good exit out of the bus stop, they're going to be able to stay right on us. So as we go through the banking up turn 12, they're going to be able to stay tucked right in our slipstream. And as we come out onto the main straight, they're going to power right to our rear bumper. And this time, they aren't going to shoot to the apron, but they're going to shoot to the outside as we go through the tri-oval. So as we go up into turn 1, we're going to have the inside line to defend, but we're going to overcook it into the corner, locking up the front tires, running deep into the corner, which as we go deep into the corner, it's going to allow the number 19 Ferrari to use the outside line and to switch back to the inside line to go side by side with us through turn 2 and get ahead as we go through turn 3.
I overdrove it.
And as the number 19 Ferrari just barely sweeps in front of us as we come out of turn 3, they're not going to move to the inside line for turn 4. So as they chose to take the outside line and not defend the inside, we're going to send it up their inside as we go into turn 4, but we're going to lock up our fronts as we go into the corner, but we're still going to be able to keep it on the inside and keep it clean to be able to get the pass done to get back up into P4.
That was a lockup. That was a lockup and a half.
But as we got back ahead on the inside, the number 19 used the outside to get a good run out of turn 4, but we're going to stay to the middle of the track, and as the 19 look to the outside and to the inside, they're not going to be able to do anything into turn 5. With the good run out of turn 4, they might have been better trying to follow us through turn 5 to make a move into turn 6, because instead they needed to lift heavily as they went through turn 5. So now we're going to have a little bit more room to breathe to secure P4 in our first GTP race as we come to the white flag next time.
That's kind of slower into the corner, but it kind of worked. I was kind of impressed by the move in turn 4. Not because I definitely need to lock up a little bit more than I wanted to, but I was able to still kind of get off the brakes enough and not just slide into them. They definitely gave us a good amount of space too, so. One to go, see if we can hold on.
As we come to take the white flag, we're going to have the number 19 Ferrari 2/10 behind us as we go into turn 1, and I'm going to choose to go to the outside to take my large sweeping line into turn 1, so number 19 Ferrari is going to try to send it up our inside. And while they're not going to be able to get alongside as we go into the corner, I'm going to run a little bit deeper into the corner that I would like, which is going to cause me to get on the throttle late, which is going to allow the number 19 to stay right with us as we go through turn 2 and turn 3, but we're going to be able to stay ahead, and as we go into turn 4, we're going to stay right in the middle of the track to defend, and as we lock up into turn 4, we're going to be slow through the apex, which is going to slow number 19 behind, causing him to have a bad exit out of turn 4. So as we go through turn 5, we're going to have a little gap to the number 19, but as we go into turn 6, we're going to run deep into the corner, very nearly locking up, but as we come sweeping back across the track for our exit, we're going to get in the way of the number 19, which is going to slow down their exit of the corner.
It's deep into the corner, but still get a good exit.
But despite not getting the best exit, they're still going to be right on us as we come out of turn 6, and they're going to have a look to our inside to try and get in our mirrors and throw us off. And while the move didn't throw us off, we're still going to make a mistake through the corner as I go deep into the corner, missing the apex, which is going to cause me to get on the throttle late, which is once again going to mess up the number 19's exit as they got right to our bumper and had to wait to get on the throttle coming out of turn 7. But despite the compromised exit of the number 19, we're also going to have a little bit of a moment sliding out of turn 7. So now with the number 19 Ferrari just 3/10 behind us and in our slipstream, I knew this was going to get interesting as we went into the bus stop, so I kept my car in the middle of the track to try to defend the best I can from the number 19 behind. And as they look to the inside for the bus stop, they're going to overcook it, just going a little bit too aggressive into the corner, coming right to our rear bumper. So as they have to lift heavily through the bus stop, that's going to secure our P4 in our very first GTP race.
Oh, we're going to be able to hold off. Oh, that lunge into the chicane really scared me there. I didn't know if he was going to tag us, but got away clean.
And as we get away clean, our P4 is going to result in us gaining 63 I rating, moving us up to 1529, and our 3 incident points are going to gain us 0.06 safety rating, moving us up to 2.66.
That was a really fun race, and I did not expect to be finishing in P4 after that start, locking up in turn 4 and going wide. I thought that was going to be the death sentence of this race, but wow, first race in the GTP, that was really fun and really good.
P4. Well done, mate. Good finish.